You were never created to scrape by. You were never meant to look at life as something outside of you, deciding for you, ruling over you. From the moment you arrived in this world, you carried something eternal within you, an inner current of power, a spark of divine imagination that shapes everything you will ever experience. You may doubt it, you may have forgotten it, but the truth remains you are wired for limitless abundance. Not someday, not when circumstances improve. Right now, because of who you are. Abundance is not something you chase, it is something you allow. It is not something you earn, it is something you recognize. Everything begins within you. Everything flows from the unseen world of your own awareness. When you truly understand this, you stop asking, when will my breakthrough come? And you start declaring, my breakthrough begins the moment I believe. There is a line that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is not a gentle suggestion, it is a spiritual law. Whatever you accept as true in the quiet place of your inner world becomes the shape of your outer life. You have lived this law countless times without realizing it. Every worry that became a problem, every hope that turned into reality, every unexpected blessing that arrived at the perfect time, they were all reflections of an inner state you momentarily held. You have been creating all along. You always have been. The question is never, is it working? The question is, what am I allowing myself to believe? Limitless abundance becomes natural the moment you stop seeing yourself as limited. Infinite wealth begins the moment you stop agreeing with lack. You do not manifest abundance by trying harder or forcing things. You manifest abundance by aligning with the truth that you already carry the source of all wealth within you. Imagine a seed. You do not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. You trust the process because the seed knows what to do. It contains its own instructions for growth. In the same way, abundance is already programmed into your spiritual DNA. The instructions for prosperity, expansion, creativity, and increase are already within you. That inner seed does not need permission from the world to bloom. It only needs the soil of your belief. There is a promise that says all things are possible to the one who believes. Notice it doesn't say some things, all things, not for the most qualified, not for the luckiest, for the one who believes. Your belief is the gateway through which infinite wealth flows into your life. Not belief in your circumstances, not belief in what your senses report, but belief in the unseen, truth of who you are. And who are you? You are the vessel through which the infinite expresses itself. You are the imaginal center of your world, the place where the divine becomes visible. When you imagine yourself abundant, secure, and flourishing, and you dare to feel it as real, you are not pretending. You are returning to the truth. There are people who began with nothing, no connections, no education, no obvious path, and yet their lives transformed in astonishing ways. They weren't more deserving than you. They simply became willing to believe something greater about themselves. They realized that imagination is not an escape from reality. Imagination creates reality. Think about the moments in your life when you felt deeply inspired, when an idea came out of nowhere that changed everything, when a solution appeared just when you needed it. That was not luck. That was the infinite mind expressing through you. Wealth is not merely money, it is ideas, intuition, inspiration, creative flow, opportunities, sudden clarity, doors opening, and paths appearing where none seem to exist. There is a beautiful truth whispered throughout the ages. The kingdom is within you, not around you, not in the economy, not in other people's approval, within you. When you accept this, you stop living as if abundance is separate from you. You stop waiting for life to change and begin changing yourself, because you now understand that you and your world are inseparable. When you say, I am abundant, you are not hoping for wealth. You are acknowledging your true nature. The I am within you is the infinite source. When you attach abundance, wealth, or prosperity to it, you awaken that quality and give it permission to flow into your experience. It is as natural as light shining from the sun. But many people block abundance without realizing it. They hold on to beliefs like money is scarce, success is hard, or I never get ahead. These are not just thoughts, they are agreements. Every time you repeat them, you reinforce a state of lack. And life, obedient as always, reflects it back to you. But the moment you choose a new inner story, the moment you claim a new state of being, everything shifts. Do not underestimate the power of simply saying within yourself, I allow abundance. I welcome wealth. I am the source through which prosperity flows. These words are not affirmations. They are identity shifts. They are reminders of who you truly are, limitless, expansive, and capable of creating worlds within your imagination. There is a phrase that says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is not blind. Faith is creative. Faith sees beyond the surface. Faith claims the unseen is already done. When you apply faith to abundance, you stop pleading and start possessing. You begin to treat your desires fulfilled, not because you can see it yet, but because you know the inner world is the cause of the outer world. Your desire for abundance is not random. It is not greed. It is a divine nudge, a whisper from your higher nature reminding you that you are made for more. You are meant to expand, to grow, to flourish. Life is not honored by your struggle. Life is honored by your overflow. When you prosper, you inspire others to remember their own power. When you succeed, you open doors for others to succeed. When you live abundantly, you become a walking reminder of what is possible. Imagine yourself living in complete financial freedom, not as a distant dream, but as a present reality within your awareness. Feel the relief. Feel the peace. Feel the joy of knowing that everything you need flows to you effortlessly. Let that feeling sink into your body. Let it become familiar. That feeling is the vibration of infinite wealth. It is the state from which abundance manifests. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you believe yourself to be. If you see yourself as limited, you will live a limited life. If you see yourself as abundant, doors will open in ways you could never predict. Life will rise up to meet the image you hold of yourself. Right now, in this very moment, you can choose a new identity. You can decide that from this point forward, you will no longer agree with lack. You will no longer speak of limitations. You will no longer diminish yourself. Instead, you will claim the truth that you are the embodiment of limitless abundance, that the infinite flows through you, and that wealth in all forms is your birthright. This is not wishful thinking. This is alignment with the deepest, most powerful truth of your existence. When you embrace it, you stop chasing success and begin allowing it. You stop forcing outcomes and begin receiving them. The universe is generous, overflowing, and responsive. It mirrors your inner state with perfect fidelity. Take a breath and recognize that nothing outside of you has the authority to limit you. Not your past, not your circumstances, not your fears. The power within you is greater than any appearance of lack. When you stand in that truth, when you choose to believe it with unwavering conviction, abundance becomes inevitable. You are wired for limitless abundance because you were created from limitless abundance. You were fashioned from the infinite, and the infinite cannot produce anything limited. The wealth you seek is not ahead of you. It is within you, ready to be expressed the moment you believe. So step into that truth now. Walk in it. Speak from it. Act from it. Let your imagination be the place where your wealth is born. Let your faith be the bridge between the unseen and the seen. And let your life become a radiant example of what happens when someone chooses to remember who they truly are, an unlimited being, connected to an unlimited source, destined for an unlimited life. You are not waiting for abundance. Abundance is waiting for you to claim it. And as you breathe into this truth, notice how your body responds. Notice the ease that begins to settle in, the quiet confidence rising within you. This is your natural state. This is what it feels like when you stop resisting your own greatness. Abundance is not a future event. It is a present identity. The moment you choose to embody it, everything around you begins to rearrange itself to match your new inner reality. Think about how effortlessly nature expresses abundance. A tree does not struggle to grow leaves. A river does not strain to flow. The sun does not try to shine. They simply express what they are. And you too are meant to express abundance as naturally as you breathe. You are not here to chase after blessings. You are here to radiate them. You are not here to beg life for opportunities. You are here to generate them through the power of or inner vision. There is a gentle whisper written long ago, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great you won't have room enough to receive it. This is not a poetic exaggeration. It is a statement of your inherent design. You were created to overflow. You were created to expand. You were created to experience life in its richest, fullest expression. But overflow begins inwardly before it peers outwardly. If you try to fix the outer world without shifting the inner one, you will always feel like you are chasing something just out of reach. But when you shift within, when you adopt the feeling of abundance, when you walk as though you are already supplied, when you speak with the authority of one who knows their worth, the outer world has no choice but to catch up. There is a powerful transformation that happens the moment you stop identifying with lack. You begin seeing possibilities where there were none. You start noticing doors that were always there but invisible to your old state of mind. You feel guided, nudged, inspired to move in ways that align with your new identity. This is not coincidence. This is creation in motion. This is the invisible working its way into the visible. Your desires are not random. They are instructions. They are signals from the deeper part of you, calling you into the version of yourself you were always meant to become. The desire to experience abundance is not simply a wish. It is a reminder that you come from abundance, that you are sustained by abundance, that you are capable of creating abundance in every area of your life. When you begin to honor your desires instead of doubting them, you reconnect with your true power. You stop shrinking yourself to fit old patterns. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You begin to see that wanting more is not greed, it is growth. It is expansion. It is the natural expression of a limitless being. Let your inner conversations become your sanctuary of abundance. When you speak to yourself in the silence of your mind, do so from the state of someone who is already living in the overflow. Say to yourself quietly, I am surrounded by abundance. I am moving in abundance. Everything I touch prospers. I am guided, supported, and supplied in ways I cannot yet see. These internal whispers carry more creative power than any external action because the why shape the state from which your entire world is formed. There's another line that says, to him who has, more will be given. This is not about material possession. It is about inner possession. When you feel abundant, when you carry that inner fullness, when you possess the state of wealth within your imagination, more is added to you. Experiences, opportunities, connections, ideas. They come as natural extensions of the state you inhabit. Think of yourself as a magnet. Your inner state is your magnetic force. The more you dwell in abundance, the more abundance is drawn into your life with ease. The more you trust that you are supported, the more life proves you right. The more you honor your inner creative power, the more that power expands. And understand this, you do not need to know how your abundance will unfold. The how is not your responsibility. Your only task is to align with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to embody the version of yourself who already possesses everything you desire. When you live from that state, the path reveals itself step by step. Ideas come, doors open, people show up. Circumstances align in ways your rational mind could never predict. Trust that the unseen is always working on your behalf. Trust that every desire implanted in your heart contains within it the provision for its fulfillment. Trust that your imagination is not a place of fantasy, but a place of creation. When you imagine yourself wealthy, secure, and overflowing, you are not escaping reality. You are rewriting it at the root. Allow yourself to rest in the knowing that you lack nothing. Every resource you need is already present within you in seed form. Every solution you seek already exists in the invisible. Every manifestation begins with a quiet shift in your inner world. You do not need to fight for abundance. You only need to align with it. Feel the truth of this. Settling into your spirit, you are designed for increase. You are built for prosperity. You are tuned for expansion. The same power that created galaxies lives within your consciousness. The same intelligence that formed oceans moves through your imagination. There is nothing small about you. There is nothing limited about you. There is nothing in you that was ever meant to shrink in fear or scarcity. You are the expression of infinite abundance in human form. And when you dare to believe that, deeply, consistently, without wavering, life responds with blessings that exceed anything you have ever known. And as this truth settles even deeper, begin to notice the subtle shift occurring within you, a soft awakening, a quiet rising, a gentle realignment with your true identity. This is the moment abundance starts to feel natural, familiar, even inevitable, because deep down you've known all along that you were made for more. You've felt that inner pull, that quiet whisper urging you to step into the fullness of who you are. And now you finally understand why. You were never meant to live in limitation. You were meant to express the boundless nature of the divine through the lens of your own life. There is a simplicity to abundance that most people overlook. They think it requires endless effort, relentless striving, or the perfect set of conditions. But true abundance responds not to effort, but to assumption. When you assume the feeling of being wealthy before the world confirms it, you activate a spiritual law that cannot return void. You place yourself in harmony with the frequency of increase, and life mirrors it back to you in ways you cannot predict. Consider how effortlessly a new identity takes over once you accept it. If you believe you're unlucky, everything seems to go wrong. If you believe you're confident, you move differently without trying. Identity shapes experience. And when you accept the identity of someone who is divinely supplied, supported, and surrounded by opportunities, everything in your world reorganizes to match that acceptance. There is a statement that says, "Ask, and it shall be given, seek, and you shall find." This is not a promise of uncertainty, it is a guarantee of spiritual causation. Asking is not begging, it is aligning your imagination with what you desire. Seeking is not searching the outside world, it is turning inward and recognizing that what you want already exists within your consciousness. And finding is the natural manifestation that appears when inner alignment is complete. You no longer need to measure your progress by what you see. The unseen is always working more powerfully than the seen. A seed does most of its growing underground, where no one can witness it, yet it is not inactive. In the same way, your manifestations are expanding, forming, shaping, aligning long before they reach your physical reality. When something feels quiet or slow, do not assume nothing is happening. Often, that is when the greatest shifts are occurring beneath the surface. Walk through your days carrying the inner, knowing that wealth is not coming. Wealth is unfolding. Opportunities are not arriving. They are organizing themselves around your new state of consciousness. Resources are not on their way. They are flowing from you the moment you assume the identity of abundance. Think of how the universe itself behaves. It expands endlessly. It holds nothing back. It multiplies every expression of life without hesitation. You are cut from that same fabric. You belong to that same pattern of expansion. When you allow yourself to think bigger, dream wider, and imagine more boldly, you are not being unrealistic. You are returning to the rhythm of creation. And notice how good it feels to release the old beliefs that once held you down. Notice the freedom that comes when you stop identifying with lack. Scarcity was never your truth. It was simply a story repeated long enough to feel familiar. But familiarity does not equal truth. You have the authority to release every narrative that does, not serve you, and replace it with the inner reality of abundance. Speak gently to yourself, but speak from power. Whisper truths like, "Everything I need is already mine. I am supported in ways seen and unseen. My life is rich with opportunities. Abundance flows to me, through me, and around me." Let these words become the inner atmosphere you breathe. Your imagination is your workshop, your sanctuary, your creative temple. It is where you sculpt the version of yourself that the world will eventually witness. Do not underestimate its power. Every empire, every invention, every breakthrough began first as a quiet thought in someone's inner world. What you imagine with feeling becomes what you eventually live with certainty. And understand this deeply. Abundance is not about taking, it is about allowing. When you believe you are unworthy, you block the flow. When you believe you must struggle, you create resistance. But when you believe you are inherently worthy, inherently connected, inherently supplied, you open the floodgates of manifestation. There is no limit to what can unfold in your life. The only limits are the ones you accept. When you remove them lovingly, gently, faithfully, you return to the truth of your being, a limitless expression of infinite creativity. Feel the warmth of this truth settling into your chest, dissolving every fear, loosening every worry, untying every knot of doubt. This is who you truly are. This is what you were always capable of. Abundance is not distant. It is not conditional. It is your natural inheritance, waiting for you to claim it with certainty, with love, with unwavering faith in your own inner power. And as this awareness deepens, you begin to sense a gentle shift in how you see yourself, not as someone hoping for abundance, but as someone who is abundance in motion. You start to walk differently, think differently, breathe differently. You begin to realize that the world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every circumstance is simply reflecting the state you occupy within. This is why the inner world is everything. When you nurture the feeling of abundance, the outer world becomes fertile ground for blessings to sprout. When you nurture the feeling of lack, the world echoes that too. But now you are choosing differently. Now you are choosing consciously. You are choosing to be the source, not the seeker. There is a quiet power in choosing abundance, even when the evidence hasn't appeared yet. That choice is the highest expression of faith. It is the moment where you step into your creative authority and declare, "What I feel within is more real than what I see without." That single shift moves mountains in the unseen realm, long before you ever witness the results. Feel how empowering it is to know that you no longer have to wait for life to give you permission. You no longer need approval, luck, or perfect timing. You carry everything you need in your awareness. The moment you claim abundance as your identity, you activate the divine pattern within you, one that has always been there, patiently waiting for your recognition. Ideas begin to flow because abundance thinks creatively. Opportunities begin to appear because abundance sees possibilities. Solutions begin to unfold because abundance trusts the process. People begin to support you in unexpected ways because abundance aligns you with those who resonate with your new state. What once felt difficult now feels natural. What once felt blocked now feels open. What once seemed far away now feels intimately close, as if brushing against your fingertips. You begin to understand that manifestation is not about forcing outcomes. It is about becoming the version of yourself for whom the outcome is inevitable. Imagine standing before a wide, flowing river. This river represents the infinite supply of life, wealth, creativity, ideas, love, opportunities, resources, connections. The river never stops. It never dries. It never withholds. It simply flows. Abundance is the same. It is always moving toward you. The only question is, are you allowing the flow or resisting it? When you believe in lack, you build a dam. When you believe in abundance, you open the gates. Feel yourself opening now, not through effort, but through surrender. Not through struggle, but through trust. Trust that you were created from abundance, and therefore cannot be separate from it. Trust that every desire you hold is a sign of what already exists for you in the unseen. Trust that life supports those who dare to walk in faith rather than fear. There is a profound comfort in remembering that you are never alone in your journey. The same divine intelligence that orchestrates the stars, that paints the skies each morning, that grows forests from tiny seeds, is the same intelligence guiding your steps. It is the same force breathing abundance into your imagination and aligning your path with everything you are meant to experience. And the more you lean into this truth, the more you soften into the flow. You begin to feel carried, supported, uplifted. You begin to live from a quiet certainty that everything you desire is already set in motion. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer doubt, you expect. You no longer shrink, you expand. Feel the expansion happening now. A widening of your inner space, a lifting of your spirit, a clearing of old beliefs that once clouded your vision. Feel how light you become when you stop holding on to limitations. Feel how powerful you are when you step into the fullness of your identity. You were never meant to live a small life. You were never designed for scarcity. Your imagination alone is proof of your divine inheritance. You can envision worlds. You can revise your past. You can shape your future. You can create abundance simply by assuming it within. And the more you assume wealth in your inner conversations, the more natural it becomes to embody wealth in your outer actions. You speak with confidence, you move with purpose, you make decisions from faith rather than fear. You treat yourself with the respect and worthiness that abundance requires. Life rises to meet those who rise within themselves. And you are rising now beautifully, steadily, powerfully into the truth of your limitless nature. And so, as you stand in this new awareness, let this truth echo through every part of your being. You were never meant to live as a seeker of abundance. We overcreated as its source. Everything you've ever longed for, everything you've prayed for, everything your heart has whispered in secret already exists within you, waiting for your acceptance. This is your moment to step fully into that identity, to release every story that kept you small, to rise into the limitless being you were always designed to be. Feel the power of this truth lifting you, steadying you, igniting you. Feel the old doubts dissolving. Feel the new confidence taking root. You are not walking into abundance. You are awakening to the abundance that has always walked with you. And as you claim it, as you embody it, as you live from it, your world will transform in ways that feel miraculous, but are simply the natural expression of who you truly are. You are wired for limitless abundance. You are connected to an infinite source. And as you choose this truth with your whole heart, your life will become a living testament to what happens when someone dares to believe in their own divine power. This is your time. This is your awakening. And this is only the beginning of the extraordinary life that is now unfolding for you.